Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Halo Club. Now this one's going to be a little bit shorter, but I want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas. Merry freaking Christmas. Happy holidays if you don't celebrate Christmas. And guys, I just want to wish you good luck to 2018. And speaking of good luck and good fortune, look at Halo Follower, man. We have 500,000 subscribers. That is insane. Like, I can hardly believe that all of you guys have found this channel so helpful that you would subscribe and be a part of it and watch the new videos that we post all the time. And I'm just so grateful for y'all's help for making not only my voice but everyone that has been here on Halo Follower, including Jacob, a voice to basically speak and to talk about the Halo community, to share our personal opinions and thoughts, and hopefully in some way, maybe 343 Industries hears some of the things that we talk about, some of the comments that you post here, and maybe in just one way or two we can change Halo for the better. And really that's the ultimate goal, right? So as far as the celebration goes for our 500k milestone here on Halo Follower, about 7,000 of you actually voted on the community tab saying that you wanted a satire celebration Halo cuts, Halo animation video, and or of course a live stream. And so I can definitely tell you that we are definitely going to be focusing on that in the coming future. We're not going to be celebrating the milestone right away, but let me tell you guys, this is going to be, let me guarantee you that those are things that are going to happen in the future, and they're going to be freaking awesome. So look forward to that. And we are going to be starting off with, let's see, Devin Welch. He says, Halo being free to play is both a good and a terrible idea. At its core, it would bring the very large player base compared to our current one. However, a free to play game makes all of its money purely off microtransactions, or better stated, multiplayer. We all love Halo for its story and its beautifully crafted lore and memories in which we've made. At its worst, 4, 5, there are still many bright and amazing unforgettable moments in these campaigns. If Halo becomes free to play, it's safe to assume our hope for another classic Halo 3 is gone entirely. So yeah, no, I completely get that. And you know, if you haven't seen my whole breakdown as to what a free to play Halo game would look like, then I definitely recommend it. But it really touches upon the rec system and how it might potentially be, well, it might run a few different cons, one of them being a lot more hackers and cheaters and stuff like that. The game would become a little bit more unbalanced potentially as well, because there would be potentially a pay-to-win scheme or something that promotes players to buy stuff that helps them in the game. It would have to be purely cosmetic, but it might not actually be purely cosmetic. Microsoft might, you know, make a game that's really cruddy and crony, you know, basically where the players are buying stuff that makes them better and play better in the game. You know, like what they even started to do with Halo 5, they were selling a rocket launcher pack, which I believe is still for sale on the Xbox Marketplace through a rec system that allows you to basically have a rocket launcher, better shields, and run faster. So yeah, we run the risk of having that as a free-to-play game, and it might also bring in a lot of new players too, right? And that's something that Halo could really do right now. I think that the best time that they could have done that really is release Halo Online as a US, not a Russian, official PC game. Drop that thing on Steam. They should have done that in 2013, 2012. That would have been the best time for it. And maybe, I mean, even the microtransactions and Halo Online, which, if you don't know, by the way, that it was like, it was basically a Halo 3 and Halo 4 engine mix-up and gameplay mix-up. It was basically Halo 3 with Sprint, with some new of the Halo 4 weapons and the Halo 3 maps, basically, for the Russian player base. I think they were extending Halo a little bit and it didn't do too great, so the game was shut down. But nonetheless, it is free, and Microsoft hasn't really taken any steps to take it down. And honestly, I think they're kind of just standing back and seeing how well it does do, because a free-to-play Halo game might actually be on the horizon, and I think it's important for us to kind of think about what we should do with it, you know, what we should think about the free-to-play game being. But Eclipse Slayer 98 says, I feel that Mendicant bias is far more powerful than Cortana. His only problem is that he is in fragments. Yes, this is something I wish I had mentioned, or at least really hammered down a little bit more. But yeah, Mendicant Bias is in Fragments, so it would be interesting to see him and his consciousness put into like a Guardian or some other Forerunner construct. That would be cool, but then again, you know, that is probably one of the negatives of Mendicant Bias at the moment, and fighting Cortana, that might kind of put him on more of a level playing field, because it is very likely that Mendicant Bias is, like he said, Eclipse Slayer said, very more powerful than Cortana. He is an ancient in Celia that has made every mistake that you can imagine. He's recovered from Logic Plague, it would seem, and he is a very powerful, very knowledgeable in Celia that knows everything about the Foreigners and the Flood. And yeah, so he would be able to take down Cortana, I think, if he had the right assets, I guess. It would be the best word for it. Retro Stan Solo says, I can't see Halo 6 releasing in 2019, more like fall 2018, and here's why. Microsoft needs a big game like Halo 6 to keep up the demand for the Xbox One X. E3 2018 is Microsoft's last chance to show that the Xbox One X is worth investing your money in, so they need big games to prove this. I've been with Xbox and Halo from the start, and I'm happy with what I play on the system, but the lack of the first-party games is worrying. So yeah, I'm pretty damn sure that Halo 4 released a year after the Xbox One released. I may be wrong about that. That would be pretty embarrassing if I was. But with that being the case, is it possible Halo 6 releases in 2018 next year? No. Even though that would make sense with the Xbox One and Halo 4 releases, the reason why it isn't going to release, in my opinion, and why I'm pretty damn sure that this is the case, is because we haven't seen any teaser trailer. There's always year 1 teaser trailer, and then year 2 is when the game will probably release. Very high chance. I know that was kind of different with Halo 5 Guardians because they released a teaser trailer 2.5 years before the game released, I think. But with that being said, so no, the trailer released in 2013, I believe, with Master Chief walking through the desert, and then Halo 5 released in 2015 fall. So I'm pretty damn sure that there needs to be a teaser trailer for this to make sense, for marketing to make sense. We haven't seen or heard anything about Halo 6, so as much as I would love for Halo 6 to drop next year, as much as it would make sense for the Xbox One X to have a good game like Halo 6 to really run on and to take full advantage of, and to get people buying the Xbox One X. The Xbox One X isn't necessarily a new console, it is just a beefed up version of a console that millions of gamers already have bought. So it's sort of like a plus bundle. It's not like a new console entirely. Now, when the Xbox 2 drops, for example, if that is what it's called, God help us all, that would probably be a good time to release Halo 6 on too, or Halo 7. But I'm pretty damn sure that Halo 6 will be releasing on the Xbox One, and that will be happening in 2019. I'm pretty damn sure. Trailer or teaser trailer will be dropping in 2018 E3, more or less, somewhere around there, before or after, somewhere around the summer of 2018 is when I suspect it'll be coming. Thomas Morales says, or Morals, it says, remember how Cortana split into a bunch of Cortanas? I think he's talking about the end of Halo 4. What if the evil one is just one of her bad split personalities and the real one is locked in the domain, and Mendicant Bias is the one who can retrieve her and ends up being Mendicant plus the good Cortana versus evil Cortana in a galaxy-wide devastating battle, and of course the good will win. And at the conclusion of the battle, once the dust settles, the Flood makes a terrifying return to the now weakened galaxy to finish assimilating the whole galaxy once and for all. So yes, very interesting theory there, Thomas. I wanted to speak about Cortana in an old copy, because I believe, and don't quote me on this because I'm not looking at a wiki right now, I want to make sure that I say stuff that is legitimate in lore, but you know, off the record, I believe that there are other copies of Cortana floating around the galaxy, and I was going to make a video a long time ago. Would one of those be able to defeat Cortana? Would one of those be able to go into the domain and perhaps kick evil Cortana off her throne? But those Cortanas are probably dead, because Cortana, the one that's alive, the only reason she's alive is because she was going rampant, and then she went into the domain. She should have died, and so, she lived past her lifeline, really. And so that's sort of the dilemma there, that I don't think there is any other Cortanas. And with those other Cortanas that we saw at the end of Halo 4 with the Didact, and, with the Didact being held down and stuff, that is actually a legitimate thing. I think somebody said in the comment section a while ago, somebody said that perhaps her emotional side, her, the sweet Cortana that we know, the charming one, the funny one, the one that had the emotions that we saw in Halo 4, basically that part of her, you could say her emotional self, was destroyed in the blast at the end of Halo 4. And what we got was perhaps the mental version, the ego, the conditioned version or self part of Cortana. It could still be her, but the more unlikable, insane, fragmented part of Cortana. Undoubtedly, she is, in a sense, fragmented, because it's pretty damn, we're pretty damn sure that Cortana is affected by the logic play. There's so much evidence, and 343 just released a new one of the sheets in a Halo loot crate recently, I think in the Flood loot crate, that basically had a big foreshadowing with a prophet in an Oni interrogation, where they were talking about how Cortana could be fragmented and basically affected by the logic plague. So that is very possible. I would love to see Mendicant Bias interact with Cortana. And if you haven't seen that video, by the way, you should totally look at it. It's like a 23-minute long video, and basically it is covering Mendicant Bias versus Evil Cortana, and it is a whole lot of fun to watch. So, definitely watch that one. Gary DX25 says, first it was cosmetic only. He's talking about microtransactions. Then it was only a few weapons. Then it was only certain game types. Then it was a whole game. Folks, microtransactions do not belong in a $60 game. They keep moving in a goalpost until the whole game is pay to win. So I remember a conversation I had with my roommate. Basically, EA, for example, everyone's heard, right? You've been living under a rock if you haven't heard about EA and the Loot Crate controversy. Basically, EA overstepped the bounds, and microtransactions are basically even more hated than they've ever been in the history of gamers and gaming. And it makes us wonder, when is the line when does this become gambling? When does it become trash? When does it become too much for gamers? How many microtransactions can you put in a game and basically manipulate players to buy and take advantage of people that perhaps are, can't help themselves with addiction and of gambling? What is the line? When do we draw the line? How much microtransactions in a game belong and don't belong, right? And so this one is slowly being figured out throughout time. I think a lot of developers kind of backed off from their own games in development when they saw EA. But think about it, guys. When I was first talking to my roommate about this, I was saying that EA was jumping off a cliff for a nickel when they had barrels of cash right in front of them after selling Battlefront 2. But that isn't true, because if you actually do just the smallest amount of research, you'll figure out and wash yourself from any ignorance, because microtransactions make a lot of money, and I mean billions and billions, like half of what EA makes, basically, I think. So that is a ton of money, and so of course they're going to put microtransactions in games. Players that see that there's just $1 or $2 to get them an edge in a game, to get them something that they've been wanting, to save them a little bit of grinding, of course they're going to do it. Generally speaking, a lot of players are going to buy Rex in a game to save themselves time, to get them the edge in game, to get what they want, basically. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense, and I think it's really annoying. That's why I really think that the Rex system should go. I would really like just the Halo 3 system, but as far, because microtransactions, they're gonna be in Halo 6. Like, seriously, guys, there's just no way around it. They just make too much money to not be taken advantage of. Now, I think we should all give credit to 343 if they end up not being in Halo 6, because that is something that they are sacrificing. They're sacrificing millions and millions of dollars to do that, perhaps even more than just a couple million. So anyways, yeah, let me know what your thoughts are about microtransactions down in the comment section below. And we have Tori Parson, our last comment. He says, if I learned anything from The Last Jedi, don't get too attached to speculations, but still have fun with it. Yes, thank you, Tori. So, you know, a lot of people got mad at me for making theories and speculations about Halo 4, you know. We may have even talked about Mendicant bias in Halo 4 a little bit, but, you know, definitely, you know, don't get too attached to the theories that we post here on the channel. You know, I even said by the end of the Mendicant bias video, it's actually pretty unlikely that Mendicant bias will be in Halo 6 or any game. And moving forward, it seems that 343 Industries may have just forgot about Mendicant bias. From what I've seen, I may be wrong about that. Let me know if there is something I'm missing here, because I don't think 343 has touched or moved around with Mendicant bias very much, besides maybe they were shown in the terminals, maybe a little bit. So anyways, guys, let me know what your thoughts are about the speculations that we post here on the channel, and what theories that you think will actually happen or not happen. But definitely listen to Tori here, because, you know, a lot of people at The Last Jedi, I'm a big Star Wars fan, but there was so many theories here on YouTube. So many about Snoke too, Jesus Christ. Just so many theories that so many people got hung up on, man. It was like goddamn conspiracy theories left and right, everywhere, right? So many people got upset at The Last Jedi because none of their theories were right, you know? The thing is, some of our theories will just not pop up at all right? That's just a fact, right? Some of these theories are even contradictory to each other. So they're fun to make, just, you know, don't get too attached to them. And the last comment here, I just wanted to say I posted a comment on Halo Followers community feed, which is this cool new YouTube feature that basically allows for YouTubers like myself to actually basically tweet out to you guys. It's not Twitter or anything, but it works like Twitter, and it goes to your YouTube feed. And I just posted a comment that I just typed it up real quick, didn't even think about it, and posted it, and I got some really loving comments back. And I just wanted to say thank you guys for thank you for being so awesome and supportive. And yeah, I mean, I love you guys. So yeah, Merry freaking Christmas, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.